So today we are going to talk about what RJSF is and how it works under the hood. What is RJSF? It's a library for building forms in React that is based on JSON schema definitions. How does RJSF work? RJSF uses a form component that accepts core inputs such as JSON schema that defines the data structure, the UI schema that defines presentation, and the validator. Here are some additional inputs that can also be passed into the form component. Some of them include onSubmit, which is a callback for when the user submits the form, onError, which is a callback when the validation fails, extra errors, which allow you to add custom validation errors, transform errors, which lets us customize the error messages that we get from the validator, custom templates and custom widgets, form data, which is a schema that defines the starting values of the form, and fields, which lets us create custom field components for schema types. Now we are going to talk about how RJSF works under the hood. I have divided the main functionalities into 10 stages. The process begins when you pass the core inputs into the RJSF form component. Then a registry is built before any rendering that merges the default fields, widgets, and templates with custom ones. Once this registry is created, it is passed down into every field and widget so that they know which components to use. Without this registry, RJSF cannot match the schema with React components. Next, the schema is resolved into an effective schema by expanding the reference handling constructs like one-off, any-off, and applying dependencies that are defined in the schema. This creates a fully evaluated schema tree that is ready for rendering. Next, the schema field component goes through the schema tree recursively and builds the full form UI from roots to leaves. Widget selection. RJSF picks the right widgets. It checks the UI schema for custom widget definitions, and if there are no definitions, it will continue to use the default components. Templates. Templates wrap each field or object to control the layout and display. They handle things like labels, descriptions, errors, and grouping of fields. State management. RJSF keeps the form data in its internal state. When a user changes a field, the updated value is passed from child to the parent component to update the form data schema. Validation. A validator checks the form data schema against the JSON schema. If the validation fails, errors are shown using the field template. Lastly, on submission, RJSF validates the data one last time. If it is valid, it calls onSubmit with the form data. If it's not, errors are displayed for correction. Widgets in RJSF refer to the lowest level building blocks. They can be used to represent fields like text, checkbox, select, and date pickers. They can be chosen via the UI schema. They can also be swapped with custom React components such as a Shadsian date picker. Templates in RJSF can be used to control the structure or layout of the form. Some examples include field template, which can be used to customize the label, description, and error placement of a field. Object field template can be used for grouping of fields inside an object. Array field template can be used to add, remove, reorder UI for lists. An error list template can be used to print or render an error summary. RJSF uses AGV for validation by default, but it does support custom validators such as XOD. But we need to convert the XOD schema to a JSON schema. Validation ensures that form data matches schema rules that are defined in the XOD schema. It runs on both onChange, which is in real time, or onSubmit, which is after the submit button is clicked. Developers can also modify the messages with transform errors. Some of the advanced features of RJSF include support for complex data such as arrays, nested objects, dependencies, and conditional visibility. It also supports multi-schema, where you can switch between two schemas when defined under constructs like one-of or any-of. It also supports themes like Bootstrap, Material UI, Fluent, etc. It has built-in performance optimization methods such as schema caching and memoization. It also has form context for global settings such as theme or mode. Thank you for watching. For further references, I have included the links to the official RJSF documentation and a playground, which you can visit to better understand its internal workings.